Welcome back to Trending Now USA. I'm Bella, and you're watching the latest update that has captured global attention and sent shockwaves throughout the tennis world. Today's focus is on Aryna Sabalenka, one of the most powerful, fearless, and emotionally intense players in women's tennis. But this time, the world witnessed a very different side of her. Cameras caught Sabalenka visibly emotional and crying after a heartbreaking loss, a moment many fans say was difficult to watch and even harder to forget. From the reactions inside the stadium to the avalanche of social media responses, this story has quickly become one of the most talked about developments in tennis. Aryna Sabalenka isn't just another tennis star. She's a dominant force, an athlete with unmatched strength and a competitive mindset. Her journey has been marked by championships, fiery energy, massive serves, fist pumps, and a reputation for refusing to back down from any challenge. But on this day, things were different. Sabalenka walked off court with her head down, her eyes filled with tears, and the weight of a painful defeat that she clearly didn't expect. For someone who is known for her bold attitude and fierce confidence, seeing her break down publicly shocked fans around the globe. From the very first set, the match was intense, a roller coaster battle filled with momentum swings, high emotions, and jaw-dropping rallies. Sabalenka fought fiercely, showing flashes of brilliance, unleashing her signature powerful ground strokes, and delivering serves that left the crowd gasping. But the tension grew stronger as unforced errors began creeping into her game. The frustration showed in her body language. The emotional pressure was evident. Each mistake felt heavier than the last. Every missed opportunity seemed to build into something deeper and harder for her to shake off. Spectators watching live sensed the emotional shift. At first, Sabalenka was fiery and loud, talking to herself, pushing herself, refusing to lose focus. But as the match slipped away point by point, something changed. Her posture weakened. Her confidence crackled. And by the time the final deciding points arrived, it felt like a battle not just against her opponent, but against her own frustration, exhaustion, and heartbreak. When the final point was played and the match officially ended, the stadium fell into a mix of shock and sympathy. Sabalenka wiped her eyes, tried to keep herself composed, and walked to the net for the handshake, a moment filled with tension and raw emotion. Her opponent offered a respectful gesture, but Sabalenka's pain was unmistakable. She held back tears, but the expression on her face said everything: disappointment, hurt, disbelief, and emotional exhaustion. As she walked toward her bench, cameras captured tears beginning to fall. She sat, head down, towel over her face, trying to hide the moment. But the microphones still picked up her deep breaths and quiet attempts to regain control. Some athletes can hide heartbreak easily. Sabalenka couldn't, and in that vulnerability, fans saw something deeply human. Post-match reactions were immediate. Fans inside the stadium stood to applaud her, acknowledging the effort, the intensity, and the commitment she brought. Many hoped the applause would give her strength. Instead, it only seemed to deepen the emotional moment. When she finally stood up to leave the court, she walked with tears still visible, and the world watched as a once fearless competitor looked overwhelmed by the weight of defeat. Within minutes, social media erupted. On X, formerly Twitter, one user wrote, "I've never seen Sabalenka like this. She always looks invincible. This hurts to watch." Another commented, "We forget how much pressure these athletes carry. Seeing her cry broke me." Instagram was filled with clips, slow-motion replays, emotional captions, and comments supporting her. TikTok flooded with edits showing her best victories alongside today's vulnerable moment, reminding the world that even champions have breaking points. But alongside the support, there was also criticism, something Sabalenka has been forced to deal with throughout her career. Some questioned her mentality under pressure. Others accused her of being emotional because she wasn't used to losing. But supporters quickly clapped back, reminding critics that Sabalenka's fire and passion are exactly what make her one of the most captivating athletes on the tour. What makes this moment even more emotional is everything Sabalenka has gone through behind the scenes this season. Injuries, scheduling pressure, travel fatigue, and the constant reminder that every match is a test not just of skill, but of mental strength. For elite athletes, success comes with expectations, expectations from fans, coaches, sponsors, and most painfully from themselves. Winning isn't just a goal, it becomes a standard. And when that standard isn't met, the emotional toll can be overwhelming. In every sport, there are moments that define careers, and not all are victories. Sometimes it's the heartbreak, the struggle, and the tears that matter more than trophies. Sabalenka's emotional reaction showed the world the price of greatness. It reminded fans that behind the power, speed, and fearless playing style, there is a person with emotions, doubts, and vulnerabilities. Despite the heartbreak, there were inspiring signs too. Those close to Sabalenka say she is using this moment as motivation, not defeat. Anger and sadness may fuel her transformation, pushing her to train harder and bounce back stronger. Fans have seen this before. After tough losses in the past, Sabalenka has returned with even more power, confidence, and determination. This moment could once again mark the beginning of a comeback story that will inspire millions. Even fellow athletes stepped forward with words of compassion and respect. Some said they understood her pain because tennis isn't just a game, it's a life filled with sacrifices. Others praised her vulnerability as a sign of passion, not weakness. Sports analysts noted that this defeat may shape the future of her season, but not in a negative way. Many believe that great champions aren't defined by their wins, but by how they respond to losses like this one. After leaving the court, Sabalenka avoided interviews at first. But later, in a brief comment, she acknowledged the loss, her frustration, and her emotions. She explained that she gave everything she had, and while the outcome wasn't what she wanted, she would continue fighting. Her voice cracked. Her eyes were still emotional. But her message was clear. She's not done. Fans around the world are now waiting to see what comes next, and many believe this moment will become a turning point. Whether she returns with even more fire or takes time to regroup, one thing is certain. The world will be watching. Aryna Sabalenka has always been more than a tennis player. She is an athlete who represents strength, intensity, passion, and honesty. And today, she showed that even the strongest can break down, and that vulnerability can be as powerful as victory. For now, her fans continue sending messages of love and support, reminding her that losses don't erase greatness, they build it. This emotional moment will stay in sports history. Not because she lost, but because she felt deeply, fought fiercely, and showed the world that even champions cry. And sometimes, that makes the story even more unforgettable. I'm Bella, and this is Trending Now USA.